Time.
Good evening. And welcome to the Arts and Culture Commission this evening. I'm Helen Dickerson. I'll be chairing this meeting for us tonight. Kathy, can I get a roll call?
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Dusky?
Here.
Commissioner Gibson?
Here.
Vice Chairperson Dickerson?
Here.
Commissioner Kane?
Here.
All righty. I'd like to go ahead and ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Before approving the agenda, I do have a revision. I'd like to strike item 7D under old business.
And I would like to adjust 7C, which is the Family Arts Festival Committee meeting update, and the responsibility changes from Smith to Dickerson and Dusky. If there are no other changes, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as adjusted.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it, so moved. I also needed a motion to approve our minutes from November 30th, 2015 work study minutes, as well as our November 30th regular meeting minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the meetings as shown on the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, so moved. All right, we're going to go ahead and start off with a very exciting new announcement. We have a new commissioner, and our commissioner tonight who is joining us is Nina Kane, and we really welcome you. This commission is a volunteer team that rolls up their sleeves and brings art and culture to our committee, and so we're really excited to have you. Nina, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've lived here for about 10 years, and I've been scouting around for some volunteer work to do, and got exposed to this through Judith, the commission. So I had seen it in the paper, but I thought it would be too popular for me to get on, so I didn't apply at first. And anyway, I've lived in California for 30 years before I came here, and I owned a stained glass business for the first 7-8 years I lived there. Then I started and actually sort of simultaneously worked for newspapers and production art department, and worked on my degree. I got my degree in fine arts from Cal State Northridge. And let's see, that's about it, except I hope to make some contributions to your commission that will be helpful.
Well, we are excited to have you. You know, and we welcome we all welcome you, and we welcome other community members who just have a love for the arts and culture to come and join us and volunteer. By no means do you need to be working in the art field or be an artist, but love it and want to bring it to Prescott Valley. So thank you. We appreciate your volunteerism. Suzanne Dusky, you have a guest with us tonight that we're excited about.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. I'd like to introduce a Prescott Valley artist that is here to present some of his work and tell us a little bit about it. Tom Blank, welcome. Tom was just in at our I forget the exact name of it, a volunteer day that we had a juried art show there, and Tom won first place. Congratulations. And he's brought some beautiful work, and he's going to talk a little bit about his career, about his work. And I noticed that you have a new series that you're working on, an Escape series. If you could kind of tell us what that is.
That's actually been sort of an ongoing series that I've been doing. This is the first painting out of it. This is Through the Lens Escape Part 1. And there's another painting that I completed not too long ago. And I have a couple other sketches in the works, and I'm about due to do another one. So this will be an ongoing series in between doing what I normally do. And it all kind of has an escape theme. As you can see on this painting, hopefully the camera can get into there.
Yeah, it showed it real nice.
Yeah.
But, you have the boy here and all this cityscape. And you can see I'm not just picking on one particular city, but I have the LA skyline here, obviously the Twin Towers from New York going up in flames. And I think this was Hong Kong. You have Sydney. As you can go online and kind of see, it was sort of intermingled, all these cities around the world. But it kind of had the theme of not only we're building and building and building and destroying what this boy is looking at through the lens and kind of yearning to get into, but all that building and destruction, we go ahead and destroy what we've built. So it's destruction upon destruction and trying to get away from all that. So through the years and until I'm dead, who knows what I'll come up with and try to add to that series. So that's what that's about.
Okay.
And normally, a lot of my paintings, because I do a lot of backpacking, and I come across, something like this, some of God's sculptures, and I'm kind of paying tribute to that. This one is Kolob Arch. It's the second largest arch in the world, and it's on the northern end of Zion National Park. It's just amazing arch. You got to hike into it. I suggest going over there. But stuff like that, when I see it, I got to put it in painting and kind of get the emotion of how I felt when I hope to portray the emotion that I felt when I saw it in my artwork. Such as this piece that won the award, Chiricahuas. If anyone's familiar with it, that's here in the state, southern part of our state, one of the Sky Islands. I also brought in a pencil sketch I did. This is a bald eagle, but I do a lot of pencil sketches for the zoo. And that started some years back, just on a lunch break. And I work in an art foundry. So I'd take a break from that because it was so close to the zoo, and I'd start working on animals. It was more of an exercise. And then it took off, and I said, hey, some of these exercises are pretty good, and I wonder if I could actually market them. And ever so often, people have been buying them from the zoo, and I hope to continue to do that because it gives the zoo some money as well, and it's nice. This is another off the beaten path from my normal oils that I do. And it's a watercolor India ink. And it's just kind of funky. This one's not as funky as some of the other ones that I do, but I'll take an animal that's got a lot of good design, and I brought the tiger because that's got such great design to him. And I'll take rubber cement and try to get these negative lines and keep them out there, and then I'll highlight all the design with the India ink. So that's a lot of my work. Any other questions?
You use several different mediums to paint with?
Most of it's oil on canvas. It's like this one, it's watercolor. I don't do acrylic just because, aside from watercolor, you have to be on the ball with it. But with oil, I can take my time. And that's one of the things I do with a lot of my landscapes is I like to photograph an area and maybe take a couple more photographs of it and then take it into the studio and paint, because I'm on the go, and some of these places you can't just take an easel in.
Right.
It's just not feasible. Plus, like I said, I like to take my time with them. I don't want to just plein air it all together. Though I leave my work a little loose, so that, I leave the brush strokes a little crazy. So it's tight, but not too tight. I want that feel of it being painted. And
Tom, I'm sorry. Tom, is any of your artwork available for sale here in Prescott Valley? Or is that something, or you have a website that you can be contacted at?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of, I guess I'm starting all over again. I was in some galleries on the eastern side of the state, and it wasn't pushing that hard. It was, how do I say it? Here I am mumbling away, and but they just weren't really working out for me, and I wanted to move my work in closer, so I just recently took stuff out of those galleries. So I'm in limbo. So I'm back to looking for galleries a little bit closer to home, because I just feel it's easier to deal with the galleries in.
Certainly.
And so I hadn't had a website because I was working off of the galleries' websites. So that might be something I'm going to be thinking about here in the future. So yeah, right now I'm in transition, but everything is for sale that you see. Please get it out of here.
Are you familiar with our library art, public art program?
Yes, I actually participated once already in it, and I'm thinking about going ahead and putting some more in. So
Please do. We would like to have some more people applying right now, so please put your name in again, because this would display very well in the library, obviously.
yes, I will.
Lovely.
Great.
Thank you very much. You have some beautiful work, and I like the variety, too. That makes it kind of fun.
Well, I'm a person, I need variety. I can't be stuck in one thing. I think you need to stretch yourself out and try different avenues.
Do you have an arts education background? Are you self-taught, or where have you been besides the eastern side of Arizona?
I was in a gallery here in Prescott, and that was a co-op for a while. And I gave that up because I was working in a foundry, and you're having to serve, and it just wasn't. I just didn't have time to paint. So something's got to give.
Right.
Well, I can't quit my job.
Darn it.
And then I was briefly in a gallery in Flagstaff, but that went south. I mean, for those who might be watching out there, it's a tough gig, and there's some people that have a tendency to rip you off, and you got to be on the ball. So, I mean, it's a hard road being an artist. Really, if you want to make a lot of money, don't do this.
Did you have an arts education, or are you self-taught?
Yeah, well, I'm a college dropout because I wanted to be a rock star. but I did take some art classes when I was in college, and then throughout my schooling, I studied art, and I went through a lot of classes. I was really privileged, especially in middle school, is when I started really homing in on art classes, and I had a lot available at the school that I went to, and then also in high school as well, and then as I went through college. So I've had that background. I've had other artists tutor me as well throughout my life, and I also taught art to little kids in summer day camp, and then just studying art, going to museums constantly and looking at work, and that's my education.
Where was your middle school?
It was in California,
Yeah.
and it was in the San Fernando Valley.
Yes.
Well, that really proves the point how important that art is in our education and in our school system. You know,
yeah,
today it's just not quite as available.
It really is, and it kept me in school.
There you go.
Yeah.
Plus, especially on the biology side, I think it really helps a person who's studying the sciences to have art education. They go hand in hand, because if you're studying art, you're studying biology, and then being able to draw some of that stuff. I've seen that with a lot of other scientists that have, as you sketch, and you look throughout history, Audubon and a lot of other guys. I mean, if it wasn't for their art background, I don't think they would have learned as much as they did. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, that's
you.
very important what you said about that. Well, thank you very much for this presentation. We've really enjoyed this and hearing from you.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. This is a big honor. Thank
And
you very
please
much.
consider coming back to the library with your work. That would be great.
I am coming back. As far as hiking's concerned, that's what I got to figure out when I'll be in town to be able to stick it in, because I'll be gone for a big chunk of the summer doing some long distance hikes, which will produce some of this stuff. So.
Yeah, that's exquisite.
Any other questions?
No.
Thanks so much, Tom.
Okay, well, thank
Thank you
Appreciate
very
you.
much for coming.
All right, moving on. Brian, you have some announcements for us. Our Youth Art Month reception, as well as our Family Arts Festival and Egg Extravaganza.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to remind the Commission, as well as also announce to our general public, that we celebrate the month of March in Prescott Valley with our Youth Arts Month student art exhibit. This is held here at our Civic Center or Town Hall throughout the duration of March. Actually, we'll begin a little earlier, as the display will be established and set up starting on Friday, February 26th. It will continue on throughout the entirety of the month of March. And we will also host a reception for our student artists, the family, friends, teachers, principals, in celebration of that, as it is a fantastic awards ceremony that particular evening on Tuesday, March 1st. We encourage folks to come out and join us from 5:30 to 7 with the reception and awards ceremony starting at 6 promptly. So please plan to visit with us and have on your calendar at least Tuesday, March 1st. If not, come visit the Town Hall between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and tour all of the artwork that is located throughout 3 floors of the Civic Center, with thousands of pieces that will be on display from students ranging from kindergarten all the way up through seniors in high school.
Excellent. We're looking forward to it.
In addition to that, I'd like to announce that on Saturday, March 19th, the Arts and Culture Commission will be hosting its 13th annual Family Arts Festival in conjunction with the Extravaganza. This will be held here at the Prescott Valley Civic Center grounds, located at 7501 East Civic Circle. The events will take place starting at 10 a.m. and continue through 1 p.m. with a slight break beginning at 11 for the youth egg hunt. So we encourage everyone to come out, visit with us, enjoy all the hands-on activities, the inflatable village, Little Bo Peep, her sheep, the petting zoo, as well as the bunny himself will be on board. So feel free to come by, enjoy all the fun and activities, entertainment, performances that will be held on the stage with all of our student artists that will be with us. So all kinds of fun activities and enjoyment. Food and beverage will also be on site, so please plan to take part on all of those fun things that will be made available to everyone.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
We'll just go ahead and move into the director's report. You have that for us from Parks and Rec.
Yes, ma'am. Basically, a large portion of activities have been taking place in regards to the arts in preparation for these upcoming events. In addition to that, we're working on the Civic Center entry complex sculpture project. As we well know that is underway, and there have been a number of different related activities, making a very hospitable environment and enjoyment area that will have seating benches and all kinds of great things located at that corner. I know recently, if you drove up to the site this evening, the road project is in the process of almost wrapping up, and then trying to find the term right now. The patio, if you will, where the sculpture will be located, that project is underway. They have excavated for the footer for the welcoming sign, the monumental sign that will be located right at the intersection of Civic Circle and Lakeshore. And as soon as that is established, those pavers will come in place, ready to then receive the sculpture that will be delivered in June. So we're marching right along with the entirety of that project and looking forward to the developments there. We've also met with a couple of different potential movie sponsors. So once that is finalized, we'll have some recommendations coming from that. And then also our procurement of our own movie system will be coming forward too. So those components are coming into place, and so that'll be made available to us, and that will be able to help us expand our offering of movie or other related visual entertainment services. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions that the Commission may have in its review of my report and then the department's report as a whole.
It's always so complete.
No questions.
Well, we try, and then that's the beauty of this is that you're well involved through that process too. So
Go right ahead.
I actually have one question about the sculpture we discussed earlier. Have you or do you give the artist a deadline to get the paperwork necessary that he needs to get to you before you can start the actual thing?
Yes,
so that you know what's going to happen, basically.
Exactly, and I know with your induction to the Commission, we're working to get you up to date with a variety of those different things. So yes, there is a number of processes that the selected sculptor has to go through. And a number of those things are established within a scope of services agreement. Okay? So that agreement has been awarded by council. Then the following elements have to come into play as it relates to insurance, bonding assurances, things of those nature, because those can only come once the agreement has been tendered. So to initiate that agreement, those other elements are put into play. Once the selected artist has satisfied those components, then a letter of notice to proceed is then awarded. That then puts into that timeline of operation for services to be rendered. And then completion of that project is listed for June. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. You're welcome.
Any other questions? All right.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on and get some old business updates. And Nancy, can you update us on the art at the center?
Sure, would love to do that. Are you a sculptor? Would you like to have your work displayed on the Civic Center campus? Then I'm inviting you to please submit for the Art at the Center project. The deadline is fast approaching. I believe it's March 1st. Am I correct on that, Brian?
Yes, ma'am.
March 1st. So you don't have much time to get your application in. But if you go on the town website or you call our 759-3090, you will get the Parks and Recreation Department, and they will see that you get an application to do this. Fill it out. All we ask is that your sculpture be durable and can exist in the outdoors, and that's the biggest requirement. And beyond that, let your creativity flow. We'd love to hear from you.
Without a doubt. And the Artist Center, again, is outdoor durable sculpture made available. It graces the grounds of the Civic Center complex for a period of 1 year. There is an opportunity of potentially extending that opportunity that's here. A number of works, I believe a total of 2 or 3 have been sold most recently. One has been transferred to Florida. So it is part of a private sculpture garden, if you will, there. And we have also had international artists as part of our program as well, hailing from Canada. So this is a nice far-reaching. We've had other artists come in from out of state to be part of our program. Generally all of the artwork that is part of this program is listed for sale, and of course we encourage that. It's part of that opportunity of promotion of the arts and sculpture in this case. So, as Commissioner Smith indicated, we're more than happy to help you through that application process and having it presented to the jurors for that program. And then the acknowledgement to that, and then also a reception, public reception, so that the artist will be able to have that opportunity to convey their background and vision for their work that's presented as part of our program. So that, of course, will be forthcoming in the future in regards to those announcements. But
stay tuned for more about the reception.
Part 2. So encourage everyone to do that because that application process is soon coming to an end. So.
Great. Thank you. Item B of our old business is our Youth Month that actually Brian just really shared a lot about, but I'd like to just give a little bit of an update. And our guest artist tonight, Tom Blank, mentioned art kept him in school. And Youth Art Month is celebrated nationally throughout our country. The schools celebrate students' art, and I really encourage our community to get involved and support the arts and come out and view this, because this is what our students need to keep in their education. A lot of times, like Tom, it is the only reason students go to school is to create art. So come out, view the art, and come to the reception. Not only is there the visual art, but we'll have the Bradshaw Mountain High School String Quartet entertaining us. So you have your musicians there as well. We have the students from the J. Ted Mountain Culinary Program creating goodies to be devoured. And again, that's arts as well. So, you know, we just have to continue to encourage our youth with the arts, whether performing or visual. And so Youth Art Month, again, will begin March 1st and will be on display at our town hall here for the entire month of March. And the reception will be on March 1st. It is the 1st, isn't it? Tuesday the 1st, 5:30 to 7. So come on down and encourage the youth in our community. We have some amazing artists. Every year is a great surprise. All right, and then item C, Suzanne, can you share with us something about our Family Arts Festival?
As Brian had mentioned, that's coming up on March the 19th. It's a Saturday. This will be I believe it's our 13th annual Family Arts Festival, and we will be having performances by both choirs, band, different performances from the charter schools as well as Humboldt Unified School District, and we'll have a schedule for that, for those performances at the amphitheater. And in the meantime, between and during the performances, we will have a lot of activity in our lower level patio with make and take tables, activities. There'll be food. So there'll be a lot of things going on, face painting and so forth. So it's a very popular event for the youth. It breaks at 11 for a couple of different egg hunts that last for 20, 25 minutes. Pardon? Seconds, actually. And then be back to the festival itself. It's from 10 to 1, and it's a fun day. There's a lot of activities going on, so please, it's free to the public. It's another free thing that the town of Prescott Valley offers its citizens. So please come out. If you have any questions about the event, if you're from the schools and want to participate, you can call Parks and Rec at 759-3090 to just inquire about the event itself. Thank you. Hope to see you all there.
Thanks, Suzanne. All right, moving on to our new business. I think we need to go ahead and get a motion to approve Theater on the Green partnership.
Thank you, Helen. I would like to make a motion that we amend our partnership with the Boys and Girls Club for their Mudfest presentation. We want to change the date to September 17th, which will be in coordination with performances at Theater on the Green. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it, so moved. And then our next piece is I'll need a motion for our next work study meeting, which will be scheduled on Wednesday, February 24th. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we have our work study meeting on Wednesday, February 24th, 5:30 p.m.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it, so moved. All right, at this time, we welcome any comments from the public. Folks, did you have anything? Thanks for coming, and thanks again, Tom. You know that you can always join us and come and see our guest artists here at the library and partake or ask any questions about our commission. And of course, always welcome you to volunteer and get involved with the arts and culture. Our next work study meeting will be Wednesday, February 24th at 5:30 in the Parks and Rec conference room, followed by another work study Wednesday, March 16th, 5:30 in the auditorium. And then our regular meeting will be Wednesday, March 16th at 6:30 here in the library auditorium. If there's not any other comments, I will adjourn this meeting this evening, and thanks for tuning in.